Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Denitza Rave, your tax, finance, and credit specialist. Today I wanted to go ahead and make a quick video for everybody regarding what currently passed through Biden in the Biden-Harris administration. I'm going to be talking about the student loan forgiveness. Yep, I know. I'm surprised as anyone else that it actually went through. So this is why I definitely want to talk to you guys about from the credit side and also just a little bit on the tax side. I'm not going to talk too much about the tax side because we really don't know at this time how it's going to affect taxes. Like, we have an idea, but we're not 100%, not until, you know, everything is a done deal and they figure it out themselves. So, okay, so the credit edition part of student loan forgiveness, okay. So like I had mentioned, and I have my notes here, so if you see me look down, that's why I don't want to miss anything important. So the Biden-Harris administration announced this past Wednesday about the student loan forgiveness, okay? I know there's a lot of controversy about it. That's neither here or there. I'm not going to go into anything political. But just a little background, there's 43 million Americans that will benefit from the student loan forgiveness, okay? Out of 43 million, about half of that owe less than $20,000 in federal loan debt. And then about a third of that 43 million American, they owe about less than $10,000 in federal loans, okay? So this means once everything is basically said and done, at least at the time of this recording, and it is September 2nd, 2022, approximately 14.3 million Americans will be student debt free, okay? Also, a good thing is, for this part, is they're also extending the student loan payments. So you know how ever since 2020, it's been paused and paused and paused. Well, it's going to be paused one more time, and I don't think they're going to pause it anymore after this, according to what, you know, Biden administration is saying. So instead of it ending, the student loan payment ending on August 31st, it's actually now extended until December 31st of 2022. So Americans do get, you know, a few extra months on paying, and you should be paying something on your student loans because you are getting 0% interest. So if you have been making some payments, then that's really smart because you're going to definitely lower your principal balance a lot quicker. So I just wanted to touch bases on that again. So after December 31st, so January 1st, 2023 is when presumably the student loan payments will begin again. Okay, so just keep an eye out on that and your ears out. So once this student loan forgiveness happens, as I said, millions of Americans will have their debt wiped out, and that's also good actually for your credit, especially if you're behind on your student loans, okay? Because it will definitely impact your credit score for the better, usually. So your loan payments and your late fees, defaults, etc., you know, those definitely destroy your credit for years, okay? Years and years and years. And that's what you definitely want to try to avoid, because as much as we don't like a credit score and how we do hear from other people that credit scores don't matter, honestly, in today's day and age, they do matter. Credit scores do matter. In order to get anything, unless you're like uber rich or you're really good at financial planning and you have tens of thousands of dollars saved, then chances are you're going to be using your credit for stuff, okay? And it also not only hurts your credit, but it also hurts, our economy, all of that bad debt. So, okay, so once they do this whole forgiveness thing, you may see your credit dip just a little bit. And if you do, don't be afraid. It's actually just a temporary dip or a decrease in your credit score, but it's completely normal. Okay, that is completely normal when things like that happen on your credit report, because you no longer have that revolving debt. So of course it's going to go down a little bit, but then you continue making your payments on time with your other credit cards. Or if you don't have any credit cards and all you had were the student loans, then you can get yourself a credit card and build up your credit score again that way. And there's also other ways to build your credit, like you can report your rents, you can report your automatic deductions like Netflix, but that's a whole nother video. But just know there's other ways to increase that score, okay, if you do see that dip. Some people may not see a difference in their credit score. Honestly, it just depends on your credit picture and your situation. Just like with taxes, okay? You really can't compare your credit score to someone else's. Just like you can't compare your taxes to someone else's, no matter how close you think you are in that person's situation. Okay, so just remember that. So there's lots of moving elements to credit, lots of moving elements to taxes, okay? Let's see here. So the benefits of loan forgiveness will definitely outweigh the negatives on your credit score and in your way of life, really, if you think about it. You'll have, and Americans that benefit from this will have more breathing room and will definitely experience less stress in their lives, right? Because that's just $20,000 or $10,000, up to $20,000 and up to $10,000 worth of debt gone. Okay, so that will help a lot of people breathe easier. There's going to be less bills for them to pay. Credit scores are going to jump up. Even if they take a slight dip, they'll jump up. But again, it's not guaranteed that it'll take a dip. It all depends on where you're at in your credit. You'll definitely have, most Americans will definitely have more financial freedom. Okay, which means there's more money to go around. There's more money to buy stuff. So that will definitely help out the economy in that way. More money, more purchasing, right? So people will have a bigger savings account because you figure that's what, $200, $300, extra dollars a month, or $500 that you're not paying. Okay, so you can smartly put that in a savings account, but put it in a savings account that is interest bearing, okay? Or even like a CD, but that's again a whole nother video, but just an idea, okay? But definitely invest that money if you can, okay? So people will be able to qualify for homes a lot easier, and cars, because when you go to a car dealership and the banks see your credit, they'll see that you have $20,000 or $10,000 less in loan. And same with when you buy a home. It'll make your lenders feel that much more confident in your ability to pay your bills, okay? So, there's a lot of other things that are good for people with this. Again, I'm not going to go into anything else, no biases, I'm just going to stay, completely neutral in Switzerland on this. So don't come at me. So how much will be forgiven? Okay, so the government is going to forgive up to $10,000 in federal loans for those who went to school without a federal Pell Grant. Okay. And then the government will forgive up to $20,000 in federal loans for those who went to school with a need-based Pell Grant, okay? And just FYI, when I say up to 10,000 or up to 20,000, it refers to your loan cap. Okay, so say you went to school and you had a Pell Grant. Okay, your loan ended up being $15,000. Okay, well, with the Pell Grant, you can get up to $20,000 forgiven. And what that means is you're not going to get a refund. Okay, so if you only have $15,000 in loans, even though you qualify for up to $20,000, you're only going to get that 15 grand wiped out. You're not going to get the 15 grand and then the difference sent back to you. No, that's not how it's going to work. Okay, so you're not going to get like a $5,000 refund check or anything. So it's up to whatever you borrowed within the 10,000 and 20,000 limit. Okay. So what do I need to do? Okay. So, well, nearly 8 million Americans, according to student.ed.gov, when I went to their website, may be eligible to receive this relief automatically. You won't have to do anything automatically, since all of your relevant income data is already available to the Department of Education or the DOE. Okay, because especially if you have your loan and it's on loan pause, or if you were on like payment plans or something with them with the government, then they'll definitely have your information already on file. Okay, so what if they don't have your data though? Like, what will happen? Well, that's easy. So sometime in October, okay, we don't have a date yet, but just sometime in October, the DOE or the Department of Education, they're going to launch a simple, okay, application to capture this information. It's the government, not sure how simple it will be, but just note that they said it's going to be a simple thing to do. Okay, and just a little disclosure on me is I'm a student loan counselor, so I was actually a financial aid counselor for a huge for-profit global university for many, many years. So if you need my help on this in October or at any time on your student loans, then feel free to reach out, schedule an appointment with me, okay? If you want to get updates on when this will open up in October, then what you will do is you would go to ed.gov. So it's ed.gov /subscriptions, okay? And then all you'll do is you'll put in your email, and then you'll hit subscribe, and then you're done. That's it. It's very, very simple, okay? And then when you do that, you'll have notification on when that application launches, so you can go ahead and get it done, okay? So how long does it take? So once everything, for those who already have their information with the DOE, it'll be right away pretty much, okay? If you need to fill out that application in October, then once the documents are sent over, you can expect to see your relief within 4 to 6 weeks. So it's not too bad of a turnaround, okay? So just keep an eye out on that. And is there a deadline? So as of this recording, again, September 2nd, 2022, those who do not have their relevant information online with the DOE, Department of Education, will have until November 15th of 2022. So November 15th of this year. So they're giving you maybe a month and a half or so, or a month, depending on when they actually release the application in October. You'll have that much time to submit everything before the December 2022 payment pause expires, okay? So before you start paying on your student loans again. So being a tax professional, believe me, when I say do not wait until the very last minute to do any of this stuff, please do not wait. their websites get overloaded a lot. They get, they crash, all of that when everyone is trying to throw all their information in all at one time. So don't get stuck. You don't want to miss out on this, okay? So definitely once it opens, get your stuff in right away. Do not wait. The DOE will process the applications as they were received even after the loan pause ends, okay? So say you got it in at like November 15th, 11:59, they're still going to go ahead and process that for you. Okay, so again, it's very important to get this information in well before December, okay, when it's set to resume for the loan payment. So did you know that in 1990 through 1991, the average tuition and fees for college and universities more than doubled in prior years? So, it's definitely been increasing. It's definitely been a trend, and it's probably going to keep going that way, unfortunately. In 2007, though, the debt tripled, okay, for college and university fees and tuition, tripled. And in 2020, for those pursuing a bachelor's degree from both a public and a private not-for-profit school, okay, so not a public school, they graduate with an average debt of $29,000, okay. If you go to a private school that is for profit, you're looking to graduate double that. Okay, I used to work for, like I said, a globally well-known for-profit university, and most of those students graduate with at least $40,000 to $50,000 of debt minimum, and that's for a bachelor's program. Okay, do I qualify? You may be asking yourself, do I qualify? Well, if you make less than $125,000 as a single person, then yeah, you qualify for the relief. If you're married filing jointly, then you just double that. So it will be $200,000. If you make less than $250,000 a year as a married couple, then yes, you also qualify for that. Okay. So that's a good thing to know. So will private loans be forgiven? At this time, it's a big resounding no. I know from what I was researching, hearing, and reading that people are now that they got the federal government to do the federal loans, elimination, they're trying to actually go after the private lenders. Okay. And in my opinion, just as a financial aid counselor all those years, the private loan industry, they're sharks. They are really, really bad. So they're going to go after those guys, okay, too. So don't know what's going to happen with that. So at this time, at this day of recording, it's still up in the air, but it's pretty much a no. But again, they're trying to go after the private loan industry. So we'll see. We just got to keep our eyes, open and our ears open and watch to see what's going to happen. So if I paid off my loans, will I get released? So say you're, some of the millions of Americans that paid out of pocket all of their student loans. They sacrificed, they had to go without, in some cases, to pay off their student loan. Unfortunately, no. At this time anyway, the Biden-Harris administration said, nope, those who paid off their student loans just paid off their student loans and they don't get anything. So, okay, so there's that. Now for the tax portion of the forgiveness, okay, not much to say yet, like I said, but supposedly the IRS is not going to impose any taxes on this income. Yes, the $20,000 or $10,000 is considered income, and that is because you're not paying it. It's been wiped out. So technically, you have $10,000 extra dollars in your year, or $20,000 extra dollars in your pockets at the end of the year. So it is considered income whenever anything is canceled or forgiven. Okay, but the IRS says they're not gonna tax it. So that's a good thing. Hopefully they don't. Hopefully they stick to their word on that. So far it seems like they are, and that's because it's part of the American Recovery Plan. Okay. However, there is a caveat to states. There are certain states that plan on taxing this income. Roughly, it'll be about, I have here, between $300 to $1,100, and possibly double that if you received a Pell Grant, again, which is the federal grant for need-based education expenses to be paid. Okay, so at this time, the states, and actually I think I just heard today too, after I wrote out all my notes, that there's another state that's going to be taxing, I think, the loan forgiveness on the state side. So the states at this time that I know for a fact are Idaho, Arkansas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Mississippi, Kentucky, South Carolina, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maine, New York, and Hawaii. Okay. And I think it was North Carolina, I think, that I heard. Don't quote me on that. I could be wrong because I just heard it in passing. So here are the potential extra taxes for the 2023 tax year and the 2024 tax year. So in Arkansas, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Maine, they'll tax you between $0 and $500. Okay, if you received a Pell Grant, you can double that, so $1,000 or less. Okay, for Idaho, South Carolina, New York, Wisconsin, West Virginia, and Virginia, they plan on taxing you at the state level anywhere between $500 to $750. Okay. Again, double that if you received a Pell Grant. And then you have Hawaii and Minnesota. They're the highest. They expect to tax you on the state side, on the state level, between $750 to $1,100. But yes, again, if you receive the Pell Grant, you can expect to double that tax bill from that state. Okay. So, I mean, pretty much that's really all I have as far as the student loan forgiveness on the credit side. And definitely that's all I have on the tax side, because like I said, there's not a whole lot to tell right now. Keeping fingers crossed that when all is said and done, the IRS does not tax this, tax it as income, because that will definitely do more harm than good, but who knows? So this is still pretty much hot off the press information. So I'm going to go ahead and keep you guys updated on what's happening next. So I'll keep my ears and eyes out for you. And also just a reminder, I do offer student loan counseling. I do offer student loan rehabilitation, help with that. I also help with income-driven repayment plans with the Department of Education, and all of that good stuff. So, like I said, I've been in the student loan industry now for over 10 years. So I definitely have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience for it. I'm also a tax preparer, been doing taxes for over 12 years now. And I'm also a personal financial planner and tax planner. I've been doing that, all together. I've been doing everything in the financial industry that I mentioned for over 18 years. So if you need assistance, if you need help, definitely feel free to send an email, info@ravefinancialservices.com, and I'll go ahead and put that down in the comments if you are watching this on YouTube or on Facebook. Okay, well, again, thank you so much for taking the time out and listening to me explain a little bit about the student loan forgiveness and what's going to happen and potentially happen. If you need anything, definitely feel free to comment, send me an email, and reach out. Thank you so much for your time, and you guys have a beautiful night.